So in this layer, we're going to continue on with the yellow ochre that we've been working with and our cool color, which in my case is this permanent green deep. So all I'm really looking for here is to darken my shadows using yellow ochre. I'm still going to leave my highlights using the white of the canvas, and I'll probably leave some midtones alone, but I just want to get my darkest darks to be darker so I can really create some more contrast and volume. So I'm going to start again with my darkest darks and work from there. So the line between the lips would be one of those. And I'm going to push these values as dark as I can go with the yellow ochre, which, to be honest, is not going to be very dark, but this is a chance for us to make mistakes and correct things still if we don't like them. So the line between the lips, the inside of the mouth is fairly dark. Now, one of the tips, too, when you're dealing with teeth, be careful about drawing the lines between the teeth too dark. You're going to make them look like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle from those old TV shows from the 80s. And so keep it subtle. It's not as dark as you think it is. If you compare it to maybe other things in the face that really are dark, let's say the line between the lips or the pupils, you'll find those little lines between the teeth are a little more subtle. I find I'll usually just paint them in subtly, or maybe just focus on the gum coming down in between the top of the teeth, and not much more than that. Anything more makes him look too much like a kind of a comic book character, too unrealistic. So, right, we draw teeth like that when we're kids, but we're trying to be a little more observational now. I notice also where the corner of the lips line up. If they're smiling, they're probably going to extend to the side of the iris, the outer side of the iris. If they're not smiling, it'll probably line up right with their pupil. If you're painting an older person who has wrinkles, you're going to have to pay attention to the light logic in every single one of those wrinkles. Each one of those is going to have a highlight, a midtone, and a shadow. So give each one of those the observation and attention it deserves. I happen to be starting out with the features right now on the face because they are the darkest part. This also gives us the chance to paint in some of those midtones that we maybe couldn't address before, paint them a little bit lighter. So if you have trouble dealing with the nose, you could think of it as kind of three separate balls that are all kind of connected, each having their own highlight and shadow. If you're having trouble seeing how dark something is, remember you can squint. Color makes it a little hard to see value, so I just kind of squint and look through my eyelashes, and that will help me eliminate color to some degree, and I can see value more easily. The teeth often aren't pure white. They're inside the mouth, so they're going to be a little bit in shadow too, so give them a bit of a mid-tone as well. Usually, the lightest part of the face is going to be on the top of the nose. That's going to be where light is hitting it the strongest. It sticks out, so pay attention to that. It might not be, but that's usually where it is. Sometimes the whites of the eyes are not actually white. They might be in a bit of shadow. They might be kind of grayish or coolish. So, you know, if you need to knock those back a little bit so they feel like they're sitting inside the head. Now that I have in some of those shadows as far as I can go with them, I might come back in and do a bit of midtones here in the background, just so it's not pure white anymore. If it's just not getting enough contrast for you, you can wait until the next layer when we work with a burnt umber. But basically, that's it for the second part of this. You just want to build up more of that yellow ochre so we have a little bit more contrast. It should feel at this point fairly volumetric, and we're just going to push that further in step 3.